So today uh, the session will be a short one, and as you know, it is about the mother and the ashram. We today the whole world knows about Sri Aurobindo Ashram, and whoever is connected like us, we always go to ashram to get recharged with the vibration, the spiritual vibration. But all said and done, it is doubtful if the ashram would have come into existence in the first place, if at all, had the mother not come to Pondicherry and joined Sri Aurobindo. In fact, It was in 1910 when Sri Aurobindo had arrived Pondicherry, and he started staying in so many rented places, rented houses, after which uh, his young revolutionary friends also, a few of them came to stay around him in Pondicherry, and gradually, slowly and slowly, others also started coming in. But till then, it was not a spiritual community as such. And in fact, these young friends of Sri Aurobindo, they didn't have any idea about what Sri Aurobindo was going to do, what is his future plan in Pondicherry. And it was only after the mother came finally in 1920 and joined Sri Aurobindo, then only that some kind of an organized establishment commenced, and 1926 marked the beginning of a spiritual community, which afterwards came to be known as Sri Aurobindo Ashram. Now the whole world is well aware about Sri Aurobindo Ashram and the work it entails, their work, the divine work for manifesting in the world. That's why it has been very rightly said that the ashram is a creation of the mother only. And in fact, Sri Aurobindo even once said that the ashram is the extended body of the mother. In 1926, when Sri Aurobindo got Siddhi, that means the physical, the descent of Sri Krishna into the physical of Sri Aurobindo. So he went into seclusion and handed over the whole responsibility of this community, which gathered around, into the hands of the mother. And gradually, all these people were looking towards the mother for some kind of a support spiritually and even physically also, because she was again the mother. As a mother is one who only can look after the children, a mother of the ashram started taking the role of a mother of the whole community, not only the community that gathered around Sri Aurobindo and the mother that time, it also extended beyond it actually. Initially, of course, she started creating a lot of work, new fields of work in which she engaged people, gave new work, different kinds of works, started right from your embroidery section, then marbling section, then harpagan, and all. There are so many departments of which we now know and see also. All these came into being only because the mother started it. And it is not the work only which is important, but with what attitude the work was being taken out, that was important. And for this, the mother always put her force behind every work, behind every individual sadhak. So slowly it started growing, and it became a whole lot of, a great miniature world in itself, in the ashram itself. And people started talking that mother has fulfilled what she could not, uh, earlier fulfill in her life. But it is very surprising, and it is absolutely wrong thinking in those lines, because creating the ashram only was not her work. In fact, it was only the base, the physical base rather, which she created for the descent of higher forces, of which the whole world was unknown of earlier. The new force which both of them together made possible to descend. And for that to happen, there needed a base, physical base, which was the ashram. And after that, it didn't confine the work for which Sri Aurobindo embodied. It started taking a concrete shape. And from there onwards, from the ashram itself, it percolated down throughout the world. We may rightly say that she spread her wings of love and embraced the whole lot of humanity in her bosom, in her heart. So that way, slowly and slowly, we see afterwards that there have been so many centers all over the world, starting in 1960, when she herself had created Sri Aurobindo Society, and she took the charge of the president. And there were other organizations also which she allowed to come into being, like World Union and other bodies, and even other non-organizational setups also, like study circles, she allowed in different parts of the world, to start with at least. So it was not confined, her work was not confined into the four walls of the ashram only, but spread across the globe. And seen in this perspective, the ashram indeed represents a tiny part of the mother herself, and got extended from there to the whole world. In fact, I remember she envisaged all these things so early. That's why in her November 3, 1914 prayer, we see something which she has written. Thus the solid foundations of thy terrestrial work are prepared, the substructure of the immense edifice built. In every corner of the world, one of thy divine stones is laid by the power of conscious and formative thought. And in the hour of realizations, the earth, thus prepared, will be ready to receive the sublime temple of thy new and more complete manifestation. So she saw all these happening in future. That's why she had written in her prayer which we find in the Prayers and Meditations, dated November 3, 1914. Thus, the solid foundations of the terrestrial work are prepared. Means all those centers which have been formed, maybe in the name of Sri Aurobindo Society, maybe in some other name, doesn't matter. But all these are centers, are points for manifestation of her supreme divine consciousness, the new consciousness which both Sri Aurobindo and the Mother brought down to the earth atmosphere and found in those people who somehow or other are a little bit open and receptive, whose time has come from within because of the progression of the soul, the psychic, and they have been called down to collaborate in this divine adventure. And thus all these small centers in different corners of the world are established. In every corner of the world, one of the divine stones, she is addressing the Supreme. In fact, she is addressing herself, her higher status above from below, remaining in the earth. So it's very interesting. But in fact, she is telling us that it is proclaimed, it has already been proclaimed that this is going to happen. All these centers are my manifesting points of consciousness, and the day, through the conscious and formative thought, a day will be coming when, thus prepared, earth will be ready, or for that matter, people who are open and receptive will be ready to receive the sublime temple of the new and more complete manifestation. So she envisaged it long time back, 1914 itself. And also we find similar expressions coming from Sri Aurobindo also, as we find in Savitri, Book 11, Canto 1, that small passage we have come across, all of us probably, that more and more souls shall enter into light, minds lit, inspired, the occult summoner here. Occult summoner is the spark within, the soul within, which is a portion of the Divine Mother herself again, the occult summoner here, and lives blaze with a sudden inner flame, and hearts grow enamored of divine delight, and human will tunes to the divine will. So there also Sri Aurobindo himself says that it is going to happen. More and more souls, more and more people will be coming into the light, because the seeking is there always in the heart. A day is written on the calendar when finally it will fructify, and whether it is you or me or someone else, whoever is open from within, this seeking itself will connect it to the divine hand, because the divine hand is always extended towards us, and it is only a matter of time before this seeking from within gets connected and we come to the close hands of the divine, or for that matter the Divine Mother. So thus the work, the divine work, is progressing slowly and slowly, and there is no doubt about it that ashram being the center of manifestation, it still remains to be so. But along with it, all those places, all the centers, or even all those groups which have been formed across the globe, across the world, in different times, through these also she is working out something. Wherever she has seen some possibility, she will immediately call those to her fore and start working through those few people. So that way the work, the divine work, keeps on going. So it is finally the creation of the mother, first in the first place the ashram, and afterwards Auroville also along with it, for unity of the whole humanity. That's why we see so many people from different countries, from different climes coming to Auroville to stay there. And through different kinds of jobs being entrusted, they are trying to form a kind of a unity which she saw, she envisaged long time back. And slowly, thus the work keeps on moving forward. And these are, as we we have been saying all these recently, that all those years, like 100 years of mother's final arrival in Pondicherry, 150 years of Sri Aurobindo's birthday, these are milestones on the way which gives an impetus to the work they have undertaken. And that's why we should find every opportunity and we should give ourselves to the work of works which is going to realize itself and tries to find the channels through us to manifest. And the more we give ourselves in the work that has been undertaken, the more we will be safe from the onslaught of the adverse forces which are always at the lookout for our small faults, even small faults. So even if we stumble, even if we fall, even if we make mistakes, let us remember one thing, that Sri Aurobindo and the Mother, they are always with us and helping us to go forward only. And because they have taken up this work and it has all the realizing power in themselves, we cannot fail in our efforts. Only we need a little bit of patience, a little bit of endurance, a little bit of perseverance and sincerity, which will pave the way for this divine work to manifest upon earth. With this, we close this session. It's a very short one, of course, and thank you very much. And I would also like to bring to your notice that because of the pujas, probably people will not be available during this time for whatever reasons. So we'll be gathering again. We will have our session again on 12th next. If you have anything to discuss, you can go ahead. Okay, then we close the session. Jai Ma.